For the spooky season, I'm covering magic in Game of Thrones, the world of ice and fire. This video, I want to talk about blood magic and its practitioners, blood mages.
You murdered him? With blood magic?
I did.
Blood magic appears to be one of the most terrifying and powerful magics practiced in the world of ice and fire. It also has created some of the most powerful weapons. Its claimed Lightbringer, wielded by Azor Ahai, was finally created by plunging the sword through his wife's heart. Only through utilizing blood magic was he able to defeat the others and end the long night. This seems to be a thing, as in Qohor, where the last people remain that know how to work Valyrian steel are said to finalize the swords by sacrificing people. Maybe even babies. On the horror end, not that plunging a sword through your wife's heart isn't horrific, blood magic has been used to create half-human monsters, create new breeds of creatures, infuse a building with powers and curse it, and also help people retain their beauty. We can see that blood magic requires the use of blood and sacrifice to be effective. If the blood magic is being used to create or preserve life, it often requires death in exchange. One user claims that when she sings her songs for using blood magic to bring someone back from the brink of death, she also wakes powers old and dark and the dead, which no man should look upon, that will dance at night. This magic also awakens something much darker, and we have an example of this. When one blood magic user sings the songs in a tent after sacrificing an animal, it appears that the shadows are in the tent dancing with her, some human-looking, some looking like humans circled in flames, and other non-human shapes such as wolves. Also, the song sounds like nothing a human could make. However, blood isn't enough to use or utilize blood magic. Someone must also know the words of the spell and have the wisdom to use them. This turns out to not be completely true, as George R. R. Martin said that Dany was able to use blood magic instinctively and she made it up as she went along to birth her dragons. So it's most likely in 99% of the cases you need the words of the spell and wisdom to utilize blood magic. Blood magic can also be used to see the future. A magi only needs a drop of blood from a customer's fingers to tell her future. Maggie the Frog was able to tell the future with surprising accuracy with a single drop of blood. Another magi in Braavos Ina was able to tell the future also just from tasting a drop of someone's blood. So we see more and more evidence that even a tiny bit of blood is so powerful.
Blood. Give me a taste.
While we only have one concrete example of an unborn child being sacrificed for a ritual involving blood magic, there are probably other occurrences. In the one case we know of the unborn child being sacrificed via blood magic, we know that it was born dead, twisted, scaled like a lizard, blind, with a tail and small wings of a bat, and its flesh fell from its bones upon touch, and inside the baby was grave worms as if it had been dead for years. Blood magic and sacrificing someone can also be used to create favorable outcomes. Red priests and priestesses have burned men alive to win battles, bring better winds, and also lead to the death of individuals for various causes. Now, because the use of death and the terrifying results, many seem afraid of blood magic. The Dothraki claim it is forbidden, and they will try to outright kill someone that attempts to use blood magic. Now, those that use blood magic are typically either called blood mages or magi. But of course, people like the red priests and priestesses, as I mentioned beforehand, can use blood magic. While they have been around since the beginning, even the ancient children of the forest sacrificed the blood of others, we have our first blood mages during the time of the Valyrian freehold, some 5,000 years before the time of the books. Many of these blood mages were from Dragonlord families, usually the most powerful among them. Though, of course, there were some non-Dragonlord families that did practice blood magic. And it's suggested in Valyria this is where blood mages use magic to turn wyverns into dragons. We also know in Gagosis, blood mages occupied the flesh pits where they performed terrifying rituals and works. Through this magic, half-human monsters were created when they forced women to birth beast offspring. When the doom occurred and destroyed the freehold, it's said that magic mostly died out, and this does include blood magic. However, we still have cases in both Westeros and Essos of people using this type of magic. In Far East Essos, blood mages use terrible sorcery in the Black Night, and they are welcome in Asshai without any restrictions. The woman that betrayed Daenerys and led to her unborn child dying was a magi that practiced blood magic she learned in Asshai from a blood mage from the Shadowlands. And we know that Qohor, the only place where the knowledge of how to work Valyrian steel exists, blood magic is used to create the works via killing babies. We also know that the warlocks in Qarth use it, and that they once came to Westeros to bathe a boy in Auroch's blood to make him brave. Now, there are examples of blood magic being used in the West after the Doom. It's believed Harrenhal, king of the Isles and Rivers, mixed human blood into the mortar of the stonework of Harrenhal, and the combination of all the deaths there and Harren's ego created a curse that now exists at Harrenhal, a curse that prevents any lord from holding Harrenhal indefinitely. Danyel was a lady of Harrenhal, also known as Mad Danyel. Rumors claim she bathed in blood to remain youthful, and that she held feasts of human flesh. Shira Seastar, whose mother was said to be a sorceress, herself was considered the most beautiful woman in the Seven Kingdoms, and said to bathe in blood to retain her beautiful, youthful looks. Now, with the birthing of Dany's dragons, we know that blood magic and magic in general has become much stronger. It would be nice to see more blood magic in the final 2 books, but we also know George isn't a huge fan of magic, so we might only get bits and pieces. Okay, so next video we'll go into another type of magic, so like, subscribe, and come back for more.